Hello, happy Wednesday. So, this week's topic is going to be on self esteem. So, in short, self esteem is how much you like, respect, and believe in yourself. So, in short, that's all that self esteem is. So, the choices that you make versus the choices that you avoid reveal just how deeply invested you are in your own healthy self esteem. So I do need to give apologies in advance before I get into the video because the way that I intended for the video to go was for each question that I were to pose or ask you, it would be reflected on the screen. I'm in the process of learning how to edit. I do not fully know how to do that, but I am learning, so I'll get there. So just bear with me. So if you could get a pad of paper and a pen, or if you could get your laptop out and get out Notepad or Word or whatever, or the same on your cell phone, because what I'll have is some questions and each question has a value. So at the end, I want you to add those up and then put that value in the comment section and you can include any other supporting details that you want with it. So I had written this about 3 years ago, and it was quite helpful just to see how people would choose themselves or choose other people to see if choosing other people would make them feel better, which in a sense, that's not the way it should go. You should be choosing you to make you feel better. So anyway, make sure you have your pad of paper, your pen, and so forth, your pencil, your notepad, whatever you have. Like I said, I apologize that I didn't, have it where it could display on the screen. I was in the process of learning that. Actually, I'm doing pretty good with it, but it's like literally the devil was at work because everything that could have gone wrong literally went wrong. But still, I'm here. So so I'm going to say the question a couple times. And then to add to that, my power just went out like an hour ago. So it's just better I just get the video out. So anyway, the first question that I want to ask you related to self-esteem is number one, do you often do things solely with the hope of pleasing others? Okay, so that's the first question. Do you often do things solely with the hope of pleasing others? If the answer is yes, give yourself a 0. If the answer is no, give yourself a 1. All right, question 2. Are you able to voice your ideas or suggestions clearly? That's number 2. Are you able to voice your ideas or suggestions clearly? If you answer yes, give yourself a 1. If you answer no, give yourself a 0. Number 3. Do you usually cancel or modify your plans to accommodate others? All right, I repeat, number 3 is, do you usually cancel or modify your plans to accommodate others? If you answered yes, give yourself a 0. If you answered no, give yourself a 1. All right, number 4, can you handle constructive criticism? Can you handle constructive criticism? If your answer is yes, give yourself a value of 1. If you answered no, give yourself a 0. Number 5, do you often lack confidence or doubt yourself? Do you often lack confidence or doubt yourself? If you answered yes, give yourself a 0. If you answered no, give yourself a 1. All right, number 6 is, do you feel comfortable asking questions in a public or a private setting? Do you feel comfortable, or do you feel uncomfortable, I should say, asking questions in a public or private setting? Again, I sort of blundered that one. So do you feel uncomfortable asking questions in a public or private setting? If you answered yes, give yourself a 0. If you answered no, give yourself a 1. Number 7, do you throw yourself into work, school, or family responsibilities to avoid forming deeper friendships or relationships? Again, number 7 is, do you throw yourself into work, school, or family responsibilities to avoid forming deeper friendships or relationships? If your answer is yes, give yourself a 0. If it's no, give yourself a 1. Number 8, do you advocate for yourself when someone crosses your boundaries? Again, number 8 is, do you advocate for yourself when someone crosses your boundaries? If the answer is yes, give yourself a 1. If you answer no, give yourself a 0. Number 9, do you use positive conflict resolution skills when there are disagreements or opinions? Again, number 9 is, do you use positive conflict resolution skills when there are disagreements or different opinions? If your answer was yes, give yourself a 1. If your answer is no, give yourself a 0. And then finally, number 10 is, do you love yourself completely, flaws and all? Again, number 10 is, do you love yourself completely, flaws and all? If you gave a yes, your value would be 1. If you gave a no, your value would be 0. Alrighty, so add up all of those questions and go ahead and tally up what your answer is. All right, now, as far as the scores, if you scored anything less than a 6, okay, anything less than a 6, you choose to not invest in yourself when it comes to self-esteem. I mean, is that something that you can go ahead and work on? Of course. So if you scored anything above 6, great. You're choosing yourself on a regular basis. So this is not to, say, hey, if you didn't do this score, you're not great. You're not. No, it's not that. It's basically trying to determine if you gave a bunch of different scenarios, how often would you invest in yourself? So again, if you scored 6 or more than half of the time, more than 50% of the time, you would choose to invest in yourself, which is great. So if you did not, then there are some strategies that I will give in the 2-minute tune-up that's going to be coming up this week, where you can work on choosing yourself. All right, because the goal is to have healthy self-esteem, because at any cost, we want to believe in ourselves first. We want to respect ourselves. So having healthy self-esteem contributes to all of that. So thanks for bearing with me. Like I said, I'm working on learning how to edit. I really wanted it done for this video, but hey, things happen. So thanks for bearing with me. Please put your scores in the comments section, what you scored after, being asked all of those questions. And then any supporting documents related to why your answer was the way that it was. If you want to give that, like I said, I'll give some tips, some mentionables in the 2-minute tune-up about self-esteem, just to give, some, like some meat and potatoes of things that you could be focusing on if you did have a score that was less than 6. Then for sure, by the time I'm done with all of the self-care related topics, I think I only have about maybe 6 more, I think. By the time I get to the relationship-based scenarios, I should fully know how to edit then. I work full time, so it's been grueling. Plus I'm teaching myself, but I will get there. I don't know how to fully do it now, but I will learn. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday and a great rest of your week. Take care and be well.